with the pandemic, you've seen people spending time elsewhere, maybe away from where they live because they can work remotely, or they're thinking about possibly relocating because of a job change or a lifestyle change. And I think that's exciting for a lot of people, but I do know that there are some tax considerations around that. And I've had that question, I'm sure you have. So I guess two questions is, are you seeing some of this same activity with your clients? And what do you suggest that clients keep in mind when it comes to possibly relocating or working in different areas of the country for parts of the year? Because I think that's an area that clients can get blindsided from conversations I've been privy to in the last few months.
Yeah, it's definitely a hot button issue, Mark, no question. And with more people working remotely, the question has come up. Well, particularly if they're an employee, not a business owner. If they're an employee working remotely, I've had the question, well, can I write off my home office, my internet, um, expenses at home of using my home office? And under current law, unfortunately, as an employee, no, you cannot. The 2018 Tax Act eliminated the deduction for miscellaneous itemized deductions, which included unreimbursed employee business expenses. So that puts taxpayers in that situation in a difficult position. And the best outcome that I see is to negotiate with their employer a reimbursement arrangement. And even if it requires a reduction in their income, to get reimbursed for those expenses, it's actually a win-win for both the employer and the employee, because the employee's wage or taxable income gets reduced as a result of reducing their income and receiving a reimbursement instead, because reimbursement is non-taxable income.
Right.
The employer, on the flip hand, they reduce the amount of payroll taxes that they have to pay. So, an employer reimbursing an employee for valid business expenses, which a home office is a valid business expense, um, is definitely a win win. And I've seen that with larger corporations kind of become a hot button issue, but it's definitely something that small employers should look at as an opportunity. And I expect that there may be some legislation addressing that in the next 6 months. But as you know, that's hard to predict.
Yeah, no, and your point I think is right on, because yes, the big companies have to think about this when they have perhaps thousands of employees, but even for you and I, when we have folks working from home potentially still, or part-time, or different, schedules, it is a consideration for just some of those basic things like internet, like cell phone, like home office, or just depending on how long this lasts. So I think that's a really good point, and we probably haven't heard the last of it. So thanks for sharing your thoughts there, because I think that's something that I have received that question a pretty good amount.